Now, the Department of Higher Education and Training is hosting the last day of the World Skills South Africa National Competition in Durban. This event began on Thursday and wraps up today under the theme, Skills Change Lives. The national competition is running concurrently with the World Skills South Africa two-day conference, where 500 delegates are set to participate. The career festival will be attended by over 6,000 pupils from high schools around Durban and the surrounding areas. Now, earlier in the week, our Xoli Mngambi discussed the festival with Zukile Mvalo. That's the Deputy Director General responsible for skills development at the Department of Higher Education.
The World National Skills Competition, which is going to be held in Durban, as you have said, starting on the 1st up until 3rd February. You are bringing young people to compete in skills in various skills areas. So in Durban, the competition will be around 24 skills. I must mention as well that as the country was the member of World Skills International, which was established in 1950, but then obviously as a country, we joined it in 1990, and since then we've been participating in this international competition across the globe.
Yeah. Let's talk about, over the course of the 3 days that this conference, or should we call it competition, which of those two is going to work either way, the aim of this Careers Festival. Why was it important that the department gets involved in something like this?
Thanks very much, Xoli. We started this process of career development services focusing in the main in artisan development in 2013, when the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Innovation launched a year of artisan. That was then in 2013, because we want to promote young people to venture into careers related to artisans in South Africa. As you know, that those are the careers that are required for our own socio-economic development. Then in 2014, we then decided, the minister said, now let's have what we call is a decade of artisan, meaning we then therefore starting in 2014 up until 2024. Now we're promoting, when we say it's a decade, it means we're focusing as the country towards producing artisans, which are required by our economy. Our own national development plan is setting a target of 30,000 artisans that we should be, or we must be producing per annum by 2030. So this part of South Africa participating, therefore, in the World Skills International and having its own national skills competition in each and every second year is meant, therefore, to promote those occupations or those skills which are required for our economy. On the 1st, in fact, we're starting only tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow is going to be an opening ceremony, which obviously is going to be opened by our Deputy Minister, Mr. Buti Manamela. So he will be opening the ceremony tomorrow. Then on the 1st, we're starting with the core business, meaning we stand there for the actual competition is starting on the 1st. Yeah. And we're having about 200 competitors. And it's interesting, I must mention the point that these competitors are drawn from our public TVET colleges. I'll say about 80% of them. And obviously, we do have some industry competitors who are also participating. So we're starting on the 1st, and then, you know, it's a competition is beginning. So the 2nd, and then on the 3rd is the last day. On the 4th, obviously, we'll be then announcing those who have made it through. Coupled with this, then, Xoli, because we say this is it's linked also to Career Festival. Yeah. We are bringing young people across KZN, about 4,000 of them from high schools in KZN. We're bringing them to ICC, to Durban ICC, so that they can see themselves, you know, these skills which are required by our economy, so that they can get excited from our own high schools. And also, we're bringing those who are not in employment, education and training. We're targeting about 2,000. So it means then, therefore, at a given moment from the 1st up until the 3rd, we'll be having about 6,000 young people visiting, you know, our career festival. That is why we say it's a career festival. Yeah. And then also we're having a conference A conference is whereby there will be presentations by various speakers who have also included international speakers, your International Labour Organization and so on, so that they can come and share with the South Africans some best practices international with regard to apprenticeship. So we're expecting just for the conference itself about 500 attendees, and then also about 500 will be physical, and then just over 100 will be virtual.
Okay. You've mentioned a number, or you've given us quite a lot of information there, but what I'm stuck on are the 200 competitors, and if I heard you correctly, you said they were selected from South Africa's TVET colleges. My question is, who will they be competing against? Are you able to tell us whether there will be candidates from other countries that will be in competition with South Africa's candidates?
Now, this is a precursor, I should have mentioned, for the World Skills International Competition, which is going to be taking place during September this year, 2024. So it means then, therefore, if this was like a soccer, we're saying that we are choosing the best amongst the best to represent South Africa. But then this is our own skills Olympics, if one were to say. Our minister would be saying to us, this is our own skills Olympics. Because now you are having young people coming from all 9 provinces representing their TVET colleges, and I must also mention there are some coming from our universities, but then that will be more or less 2%, as I said, about 80% are coming from our own TVET colleges, as well as we do have about industry, those who are from the industry. So all of them, they will be competing amongst each other, that 200, because we must choose the team that is going to represent South Africa in France in September. I must mention that in 2022, also we're competing, but then we're supposed to have gone to China, but then due to COVID-19 global pandemic, we could not go to China. And then countries of the world were invited to host that competition. We went to about 15 countries of the world in 2022, from September up until November, where we were competing with many countries of the world. You'll be surprised, Xoli, that in some of the skills, South Africa was ahead of countries such as Sweden, Belgium, Spain, Japan, Australia, France, Switzerland, Italy, and so on. So it tells them, therefore, that the quality of our own education is improving day by day. Because once you go to that platform, because I was saying to colleagues, can it be that a young person from South Africa on aircraft maintenance from South Africa be ahead of a young person from Japan on aircraft maintenance? So these are some of the results, because when they go into the international platform, they are competing with the best in the world, as well. Importantly, also because we are being benchmarked, in international standard with other countries of the world. It's about fully. It's 85 countries which are part of the World Skills International. But then when we were participating in 2022, we came number 18 out of 53 countries when you aggregate all the scores from various skills areas. So it tells therefore, Xoli, that we've got something to show internationally.
Final question to you. So the people listening to this conversation are saying to themselves, this is something that I would like to get involved in. Is it only limited to TVET college students who are obviously in the vocational institutions of South Africa, or could it be open to someone who is still in matric, for example, but they have an interest into getting into TVET colleges? Because that is something that I've noticed that the minister seems to be pushing just as vigorously, the element about vocational institutions being of choice to matriculants, not only universities?
Well, Xoli is open to everybody. As we started last year, early last year, when we started with the process, we'll be, for example, using social media to advertise, inviting young people. We'll be using as well our website, Department of Higher Education and Training, as well as the website for World Skills South Africa, whereby we're inviting young people, especially between the ages of 19 and 22. Because by the time we go to the international competition, those who have been participating must be within that cohort. So it's open to everybody. But then, as I said, as of now, the process has concluded because we've chosen the best of the best, across all provinces, TVET colleges, industry, as well as universities. So now we must choose the best that is going to represent South Africa in France. Then the next one is going to be in China, and then we'll come back and then to invite young people to come so that they can compete, they can showcase their skills in various areas, whether it's a mechanical engineering, CAD, IT, software for business or auto body repairs, network system administration, aircraft maintenance, health and social care, graphic design, technology, welding, bricklaying, electrical installation, and so on. So as I said, now we'll be competing on 24 skills in Durban, which we are going to take them to international platform in Lyon in France in September 2024.